Buki can tell us. She's a nation builder.
Yes.
I don't know. I really do not know. I'm just trying to gather, some information more about it, and I'm wondering what happened. Why would soldiers? Well, I know that they said the newly recruited soldiers. So was it that they were too happy, or what exactly? God quoted. See, Yemi. Though I know they set up a probe, to do that. We need to understand why they went there. Why they went there. Because for soldiers to go somewhere, something must have happened. Somebody must have called. And they when they were going, they had the intention of doing something, probably ensuring that nobody harms themselves. There must be a mission. I'm racking my brain. What was that mission? I've not been able to get a whole lot of information around that. But then when you now go there, are you now supposed to harass and assault? I listened to I saw the picture of the girl, and what she said. Why? Does that mean the soldiers were high when they were doing this? These are questions begging for answers. But I hope and I pray that the probe that has been set up, I always talk about men of integrity, men of honesty, that they will be able to talk truth to power, to say a spade is a spade and not an agricultural instrument. And if they are newly recruited person, then that means they need to curtail them. I don't know if they're going to court martial them or whatever they're going to do, but they must face serious, serious punishment, right? I'm sure they will probably have that in their policy. And even the school themselves can also sue them, for coming to disturb the peace in the university. Because this cannot continue. I saw when the Oshu State VC was talking and all that, very painful. When he was saying that the police that are supposed to come and protect them, they are now their tormentors. How did we get to that? Even Adeleke should not. I expect a whole lot of reaction today. I expect him to do the needful. And what is the needful? Ensure that everyone who did this, right, is severely punished. But beyond that, we need to understand what happened, because we are looking at it on the surface. What happened? How did they get in there? Were they the people that were there, to do the normal security guard? Like I said, I'm still trying to get more information around that. But the question is, what happened? Why did they get themselves to now become a tormentor and start harassing girls? The probe must get back to that, and they must give us answers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Buki. What about you, Ibn Abel?
Okay. It's it's worrisome. It's worrisome because when the place of recourse is almost becoming a place of fear, a place of harassment, a place where you cannot find peace or protection, then it becomes worrisome. And I'm going to say also that it's unfortunate that this happened, because we know the efforts of the Nigerian military in the area of insecurity and protection of our national integrity, territorial integrity, and all. But having said that, we shouldn't lose focus on the fact that there will always be bad eggs. There will always be bad eggs. No matter how strict the military is, there will always be bad eggs. And the best thing they can do for us is to make sure that the bad eggs, when caught and proven guilty, are brought to book. I remember there was a time so many years ago, I can't recall the particular year, but it's a long time, in River State, in my hometown in particular, the Calabari extraction of River State. There was this unrest between two communities, one my community and another sister community, and it was serious. Called boys were all over the place. People seized the opportunity to avenge their grievances and all of that. And when I visited, I could see marks of gunshots on various walls and fences of various compounds and all of that. And my mother in particular was so lucky. She was in the marketplace. She said she was hearing, hey, hey, hey. So she just, like we have always told her, when you hear anything, the first thing is to go low. Then you look around to look for where you can hide for safety. So she went low. She was in the market area, and she said a gunshot just, she missed that gunshot by the whiskers, and it was scary for us, and she was traumatized. And by the time we got there, yes, then the government, of course, sent in the military to go and, make sure that there is peace and take charge of all of whatever was going on there and all of that. And that was beautiful. There was, relative peace for some time. But I also had some complaints from some ladies and some men in my community that one or two, I don't know the number of soldiers that were drafted to that place, but I was told that one or two of these soldiers were harassing the ladies. Some of them were coerced into dating some of these soldiers, and one or two of them even had babies later on, And I told them this does not really represent the Nigerian military. It is the act of some bad eggs, which, one cannot rule out. So I just want to say that the state government should take this up and make sure that the what is it called now? The chief of commander, the staff commander, I can't, oh my goodness, whatever, those who are in charge should please rise up and look into this matter, because when it's happening everywhere. It's happening everywhere. Sometimes you see the government would draft some officers to certain areas for certain duties, and some of them will just go beyond the boundary and begin to act inappropriately. We hear this. It's happening everywhere. I don't want to mention names now. It happens in a lot of places. So the bottom line for us here is, now that the people have cried out, the government should be swift in their action to look into this, and they shouldn't sweep anything under the carpet, because when we do things like this, and people will begin to lose trust in our uniformed men, which is not the best for us as Nigerians, because not all of us we all cannot carry gun. Even those who are agitating for it, they're not thinking, they're not putting on their thinking cap. Because if everybody is allowed to, if you can afford it, if you're allowed to carry arms, to bear arms, it's dangerous. We have seen where neighbors are fighting. I'm digressing a bit now, please allow me. We have seen where neighbors are fighting, and then the next thing, somebody is carrying cutlass, somebody is carrying one heavy stick, somebody has hit somebody with something, and the person is dead already on the ground and everything. So please, we don't want to lose trust in our security personnel. So the top men, the top women should swing into action. Let there be decorum, please. We cannot see our recourse as our place of harm or place of insecurity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ladies. What about you, Nima? What are your thoughts?
Just like Ibinabo said, these people, these uniform men, are there to protect us. So the moment they start doing things like this, we lose trust in them, and we won't. If we hear next time that soldiers are coming or any uniform person is coming to protect, we'll be like, oh, keep your girls safe, keep your boys safe, because something like this would happen again. People will lose trust, and it doesn't speak well of the uniform, because what I know about the military is one of their moral codes is they should never hurt women, even if they have issues with their wife. For example, a military man doesn't have the right to raise his hand to his woman,
Mhm.
because that can lead to, I don't know the punishments, but there's a serious punishment for the man. So now imagine a military man who does something of this sort to a girl, students they were meant to protect. And funny how this girl, she would never imagine that kind of thing would have happened to her that day. Her parents sent her to school to learn. So are we pushing out the narratives that girls should be kept in their houses? Shouldn't they go out to learn? Shouldn't they go out to work? Why is it that when girls leave their houses, you see many things happen to them? Meanwhile, the parents will say, Kanko Duro Sile Jeje, this wouldn't have happened. So, like, we should watch what we do. We should let girls feel safe in the community. And this girl was living close to the school. She was not even living in an area where you say, okay, Olosita, because some people say that when you are in the uni, living off campus, especially areas far from the school, is dangerous. But she was living very close to her school. So why then did something like this happen? Where should she feel safe again?
Hmm.
What narrative are we pushing out to people?
Well said, well said. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Speaking of Nigeria, the next one we're going to is on, do you think that Nigerians are getting well adjusted to bad things, or to the bad economy, or the bad situation of
See, we Nigerians, we are, what's the word? She ministers, see, we Nigerians, we are, what's the word? She ministers for adjustment.
Mm.
We know how to adjust. Not that uh, there's nothing we can do. There are things nothing we can do. There are things you can do about it.
Mhm.
Speaking out, you can do about it.
Mhm.
Speaking out, you might think it's something little, that it's insignificant, but it makes a lot of difference when things happen. Instead of you to just take it as, oh, Nigeria happens, speak out. People would hear your voice, and you don't know, maybe your voice would bring other people to speak, and multitude of voices might bring about a change. We need to
Hmm.
overhaul of our mindsets first
Mhm.
of all.
Mhm.
Then we've said it over and over again. What are the regulatory bodies doing? Because I read the article, and this girl said that she ran back to Canada after 3 months, comparing Canada to Nigeria. Someone I know brought their children to Nigeria. People I know rather brought their children to Nigeria in 2023, and the children were watching TV that night. Then the TV went off. The younger sister now started crying and was shouting that our elder sister turned off the TV, because they didn't even want to watch the same
They didn't
programs.
clock it.
So she was fighting with her sister. Why did you turn off the TV? I told you, only for their grandmother to come running. Kilo Shele. She
Okay.
turned off the TV. Grandma was like, she didn't turn off the TV. There's no
There's no
lights.
light.
The children
Oh.
are like, but that's by the way. So when someone comes to Nigeria, I know many people said, oh, they wanted to come back to Nigeria to settle from different places, but they are like, oh, leave it. Insecurity, inflation, electricity, everything. People are like, oh, they are not staying, because Nigeria is not as developed as where they are coming from, if you get what I'm saying.
There's an analogy of the frog in
Okay.
hot water. I don't know if you or the ladies have heard of it. It's the analogy of the how the frog adjusts its body temperature
Yes.
to the temperature of the boiling water. So you put a frog in the pot, and
Yes.
then omienho unho, and then but instead of the frog to jump out of the pot, it starts adjusting its body
Yes.
temperature to it. The water is boiling, is adjusting until it will die
Yes.
because the hot water will kill it.
That's what happens to
That's what happens
Nigerians.
to Nigerians. But I want to hear what the ladies, Ibn Abba, what say you? Do you think that we are well adjusted? Because look at this case of this false situation in Nigeria now. In other countries, they were taken to the streets or they had started demanding that the prices come down. But it's like we've been buying fuel at over 1,000 naira for about 4 months since March, and it's now like, oh, nobody say we don't die since. Meanwhile,
Mhm.
the world has started adjusting. The fuel price, the reason why you increase the fuel price has gone back to way less than what it was before, and you are not reducing it. It touches every facet of society, of our lives. So this flood situation, we'll shout, 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 shout about it, and then they will do nothing about it. We'll rinse and repeat by next year. Is this because we are? Do you think Nigerians have lost hope? Have we lost hope?
Okay, thank you for me. You see, like I will always say, and I still I'm going to say it again this morning, and that is, you know, if you are an outsider, if you are not resident in Nigeria or you're not a Nigerian, and you listen to the complaints of Nigerians, you will come to realize that we seem to keep sounding like broken record or record stuck in its groove. What am I saying? We complain about the same thing. We complain about the same thing. We complain about the same thing. And the sad part is that when you are complaining, people who are listening to you do not see it because they are sold out to that particular leadership. So whatever it is that is wrong with that leadership, they don't see it. Even if they see, they pretend as if it's not there. Or even if they see, they say, oh, you are saying it because you don't like that government. Oh, you are saying it because the government, you are being tribalistic. So you see, we're not driving the same purpose. We are living at cross purposes. We are not seeing things from the same lens. I know that there is strength in diversity, but when you talk about diversity or diverse opinion, every opinion must be commonsensical. If it is not, then what are we talking about? Then you will see that people are already afraid of consequences. You know, they worry about being arrested, so they don't want to talk again. They worry about being intimidated. Some of them are afraid of losing their jobs, you know, and some of them are afraid of becoming targets of powerful individuals. So you see them keeping quiet, not because they don't see it, but because they'll tell you, let me just adjust. Because if I complain now, if this complaint will make sense and the government will make a change, if there's going to be a shift, all of us will enjoy it. But if it doesn't come like that, some other persons will begin to blame, hey, what is this? What is Oroju? Are you the only one? And all of this is highly discouraging. The beautiful thing about leadership is feedback. When you are able to get feedback from the people you are leading, it helps you. If you are a conscientious leader, it helps you to do better, because sometimes the things you want to give to the people are not what they want for that moment in time, but it is a good thing. So when you do it, you're going to face some criticism. And those who are supporting, even though in the corners of their homes they are saying something else, those who are supporting, you don't like this person. Is it because you wanted this person to be? I mean, we are so divided. We are so tribalistic. We are divided along religious line. We're divided along a lot of tribal, so many things that we don't speak with one voice. We don't see things from the same lens. Even when these problems cuts across, we pretend a lot. Rather, we'll be looking for who to blame. Oh, this thing has been happening for the past million years. We know. Like I said some time ago, if somebody pulled pulled out a newspaper headline that was published, I think, in the 70s. And it read, Nigerians complain about the hardship. So when you do things like that, you are not seeing what is actually going wrong. How then do you properly address or advise the government? Or because you are a beneficiary, you don't want to see what is going on. Or because your brother or your loved one is part of the government, you don't want to see it. That is what we do. You see some people, they complain and complain and complain. Once they are given appointment in that same government, or once a close person to them through whom they can enjoy some benefits is already appointed to be part of the leadership, they keep quiet. They begin to fight. You now wonder, why the U-turn? You see, then there is this distrust in institutions. We just talked about the soldiers and the allegation made in Osun State University. You see, when we lack trust in institutions because of what has been happening and our individual experiences, we do not want to say anything. Because some parents will tell you, my child cannot go out and protest too, because before you know it, you will hear stray bullets. Make it no sense that pikin stray bullet will go hit. So there are so many reasons. You hear, like I said earlier, we are so political and socially divided. It is normal everywhere, but there has to be a common ground where what is biting everybody should be addressed. If a government brings up certain policies for the betterment of our economy, but it is biting the people so badly, it should be talked about. It doesn't mean that you are condemning the government. You are just saying that that policy is not friendly. It's not friendly. If I have to suffer for 10 years because Nigeria must be better, and I don't have any place of recourse, so I'm going to be the sacrificial lamb. Nobody who wants to be the sacrificial lamb, who wants to be slaughtered to appease the ground for everybody to enjoy. Nobody. So whatever is being done should be done with the understanding that this is not funny. People are not finding it funny. Understand people's pains. Don't be quick to say, oh, it is because it's not from your place. Oh, it is because you are of a particular religion or a particular political party. No. In our businesses, let me digress a bit. In our various businesses, when we have issues with the growth of our businesses, we consult, we sack, we do a lot of things to make sure that the business thrives. But when it comes to leadership and governance, you want everybody to keep quiet. And these people talking, they are progressing their businesses. If you are a mess up in their business, they just sack you, they remove you. But when it comes to talking about policies and everything that are not friendly, they say, oh, you don't like the person. I cannot sit here and tell anybody that our present president does not do anything. He has not done anything good. But what I can say from my own place of observation is that some policies have become not very friendly to a larger number of the society. And that needs to be reviewed. We need to review it. We need to review it. It is
But we have a call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Where are you calling from?
Please, I have this number on my phone. I don't know who it is, please.
Sorry, we didn't get that.
Okay, maybe it's the wrong number.
Yeah, 91.7. Sorry about that, but please go ahead. You were speaking of policies that are not favorable to Nigerians. Hi, Binabo, we cannot hear you.
Okay, thank you. I muted. So whatever office you are holding, be accountable to the people. And you should understand as a leader that you can never be perfect, because when you are dealing with certain issues, you are blocking some other persons and they will come out and complain. So complaints not a finish when you're a leader. But what you should do is you should have a balance. You should balance things, and you should pay attention to the downtrodden, to the people that are at the very lower rung of the ladder. Don't say, oh, they are complaining, they are this and that. And I want to also say that I think that some of the people our leaders surround themselves with are so psychophantic that they don't tell them the truth. Because when you get the right feedback as a leader, I believe that because you are a leader, you would look into it and try to bring about succor, try to bring about some certain level of buffer. But when you surround yourself with psychophants, when you ask, how are the people doing? What are they saying? What do they think? The next thing you hear is, they are happy. Only those people who are supporting the opposition are kicking against it. And it is not true. It is not true. We need to be very sincere, we need to be very honest. If you are okay and comfortable in your corner, is it comfortable for every member of your family, or you want to keep being the oga, the shining lord of your family? Let us make sure that we do the right thing. If there is anything wrong, let our criticism let it come with a lot of common sense. Don't criticize because you don't like the leader. Don't come and tell us things because you don't like President Tinubu, or because you don't like Governor Sanwo-Olu or Governor Abiodun. Say it because that is the truth. Don't add any political tone to it. That is what I believe in. If something is wrong, let us say it. But to the truth of the matter is, Nigerians, I agree that Nigerians have the ability to adjust. Because what we are going through in this country, I don't think Ghana experienced a quarter of it before they ran away into various countries, whereby at the end of the day, the issue of Ghana must go came about. So please, if you are going to criticize the government, make it constructive. And government should listen. Don't come with the mindset of they don't like you or they are from the opposition. All of us, not all of us are politicians. I'm not a politician. I don't intend to be one, but I'll always speak for the people around me. I'll always speak for myself. I'll always speak as a leader in my community. And nobody can stop that. And you are free to interpret it to anything. It is your prerogative. But what we are saying is we need this government to please look at policies that are too stringent, though these policies have long-term advantages. But for now, what can you do as to supply as buffers to those who are really being badly hit by these policies? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ibn Abba. What about you, Buki? Are we tired of Nigeria? Is Nigeria getting to us? Is there still hope? Is there still hope? That's really what it is.
Okay, I will come from a different dimension perspective from that, but pardon me, please. I'm a bit angry for this Ocean State. I couldn't wrap my head around it, and I just permit me to say one or two things, because we do not know who is listening. Like I always say, that they really need to press for that. Like we mentioned, the school, these ones were newly what do you call it, graduated army or whatever they call themselves. They just left, the newly recruited army officers, and their campus or their school is close to the residential area of Osun State University. I see that these people had planned it. And that's why whatever proof they want to do, they must be ruthless, if I can use that word, because I'm a bit angry. Report says they're about 20, and they stormed that area. They were beating boys. They even stole phones. At least from the report I had, 60. So it was a planned, when you say when I say planned, something that they had in their mind that one day we'll do this. You understand? Because they're about 20 and they stormed that area. Allegations even says that they were asking some people to even transfer money. And then for the girls, they go in there, they tell them to undress and they will be dancing for them. So you can see that it was something that there was a thought. They carried it and then from there, they had fun. So there was a time. So this did not just happen within 5 minutes. I just want to bring that home to say that whichever probe they want to do, honestly, all of them, I know that since they are newly recruited and whatever it is, and the excitement that yes, we are soldier now, we can do anything, that should be stopped. If they want to cut, I know they have their own process, but honestly, after they are done and they come back as civilian, because these people should not even allow them to be military anymore, army people anymore, because they have shown that they are irresponsible. Then Osun State governor of the Osun State University should now take them to court, because they harassed people, sexually assault. Never in their life would they do that again. That being said, because I just had to clear that way, let's go back to this discourse that we're having. And like I said, I want to take a little bit of detour, because Ibn Abba had come from a different perspective. She had laid the side of the governor and the government, what they're supposed to do, which is actually true. But for the side of people, we talked about this woman who thought she could relocate. She had so much to give the country. And after 3 months, she could not just cope. Okay, well, let me just go straight to my point. Yeah, we're talking about the lady who said she relocated and after 3 months, she had to go back. And I'm saying that let's face the brutal fact. It's not that Nigerians do not like good things. Even for those who have not even gone outside, at least we watch movies to know the basic minimum standard of living. Right. So it's not that we do not like it, but we have been able to cope with these things. A whole lot of time, because we do not talk, we complain silently. So it's like a coping mechanism to us. And along the line, we have built that resilient spirit that waiting go do, we go rough on them. So we've built that mindset that whatever they want to do, we go rough on them. Should that continue? No, it should not. And that is why we keep talking about the elites in the nation. They have a whole lot to do. The elites should now begin to talk and begin to do the needful. They might not be 50% of the population, but 10%, 20% that know they have the resources, they have the knowledge, they have they have the capacity to make changes. They are close to the corridor of power. They are the ones to rise up and begin to talk. Like the lady who we are looking at now, she's part of the elite. But I want to say this to anybody who wants to relocate. They should build that resilient spirit. They should know they are coming to fight. Let's take it. We have been in the city. We have an idea of how the city works. Think of when they now say, go and relocate to the village where there's no borehole. You have to go to the stream to fetch water, right? You have to go to the farm to uproot tubers and make cassava. How would you feel? For those who want to build a resilient spirit, they will adjust. But for someone, she will run back to the city It is the same thing with somebody who is relocating from an advanced country. Like I said, this is what I will have to say to them. If you want to come back with a mindset that I want to change the system. You cannot change everything because you're not sitting in Mr. Tinubu's seat. So you cannot effect policy. It's good we get there to change policy, because that is the place that you can change policy and change a whole lot of things, which Ibn Abo had mentioned. However, there are some other areas where you can work, you can change. She talked about being in the electricity, she knows that at the back of her arm. If you're not at the top end, you can actually work in the mid sectors, and bring about a change, right? Collaborate with people and bring about a change. Recently, I was in Abia, the first in independent IPP generation. I was there. I saw the place, and I said, "This is beautiful. You could do one or two things." Now we're talking about solar farms and things like that. You could come back and pull resources together, bring people that are of like minds. The people she said she talked to, they are not interested. Look for people that are interested in coming to Nigeria to invest. We see them almost every day. I'm only sounding this alarm that the people who God has said you are coming back to come and change this nation, they have no choice. They will come because we need them to come and change, one or two things in the nation. They have the capacity, they have the knowledge, right? And some of them have the resources. You understand? I am not out of Japa, whatever it is. There are some people that will go out, they will get the knowledge and they will come back and come and serve their nation. Right? A lot of people did it. My father did it. All the people that went to study in the 50s, in the 60s, that was it. They went there, they collected their certificate, they came back to come and serve Nigeria. Some of them did not come back, but some did. And that is the system. So I just want to sound that note that if you are coming, please be intentional, be purposeful, that you are coming to make a change. And that means there is sacrifice that you must go. You cannot afford to abandon it and go back. Thank you.
Ibn Abo, I can see that your hand is up. We're running out of time. In 1 minute, please.
Okay, thank you. I just want to quickly add that I've always been a very optimistic person, and at the same time, I'm very realistic. You see, I've had people. There is a friend of mine who came to Nigeria to want to start a business. She saw a need and she wanted to address it. And I promise you, she was messed up. She had to go back. She lost money to the tune of tens and almost hundreds of millions. What am I saying? You see, in this beautiful country of ours, that is why we continually call on the government to intervene. Because when you want to establish a business, you will need things like business permit. Even if it is a franchise, you will need certain level of license, operational rights, or operating right, or operating authorization, or what do they call it? You will need a lot of things. You will need certain level of concession from the government. And I promise you, the people who are in charge of all of these things are civil servants. If you have looked it up on the internet, various agencies, if you want to get this from them, this is the amount it will cost you. If you want to do this, this is the amount it will cost you. And at the end of the day, these people become the bottleneck you never envisaged. These people delay because you're not ready to grease palms. These people delay because you want to grease palms, but what they are asking for is unreasonable. You will be frustrated. You either will have to join them, pay them whatever they want, and then factor all these things into the cost and bill Nigerians heavily. That is why you see businesses that will want to float in Nigeria. But at the end of the day, the person will tell you, I wanted to sell this product just for 2,000 naira, but it has to go for 4,000 because of the expenses that are incurred in the process. This one will, and they are very official. They are very not official cost that you can't even put a receipt to it. So you see, we need the government still. The government should stand and support and help those who want to come and invest. Your resilience is when you can stand the traffic that you're not used to. Your resilience is when you can face a money and say, no, I'll go back to the government. I will use the government instrument to fight you. Your resilience is when you know that you have a driver and this driver will be sincere with you. But if all of these things, my friend ran back. She said, IB, how are you guys coping?
All right.
Government and the people are to be held accountable. Nobody's exonerating the people. It is that reason for, thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Ibn Abba. We are out of time. This is still Women Radio 91.7, and we've come to the end of the HerLens program with the ladies of HerLens this morning. Up next is